There we go. Got the man himself right here.
How's it
Yeah,
going? How's it going? How you doing, man?
I'm doing
Good?
excellent. I'm doing excellent. How are you doing?
Good, good, good.
Awesome, awesome. So how's this Friday night going for you? I,
Oh man, I'm
I
I'm
know
just
you're
chilling.
just ready to start lockdown again and shit like that.
Yeah, that's what I hear. I think Saturday it goes into effect again. So
So people are gonna be wild for tonight.
yeah.
Know?
Nah, man, I'm just chilling, bro. Just watching some movies, making some food,
Yeah,
relaxing.
I'm gonna download. I'm gonna try and get the link for the Godzilla King Kong shit.
Bro, that movie was
You
crazy.
seen it?
Like, yeah, I watched it yesterday.
All right.
It was crazy.
I don't want any spoilers, but like again, I know that
It's,
shit's gonna be sick, so I'm gonna watch that like this weekend for sure.
it's good. It's good.
Yeah. So what kind of movies are you normally into?
I'm into a lot of stuff, man. I watch a lot of shit. Like probably horror. Horror is probably my number one favorite you know, favorite genre. Yeah.
Okay. I like horror too. Like
Yeah.
cheap ones, but like
Yeah, oh, some of those are the best, bro. Like some of the old school ones, you know what I mean? Lower budgets, but
yeah,
good gore, you know what I mean? Good special effects, shit like that.
for sure, for sure. Um, yeah, me like I like a lot of comedies though. I'm
Mm,
more of a comedy guy.
mm.
Yeah, but yeah, I'll check out your music. Yeah, yeah, the style is dope. I like it. Um,
Appreciate that, man. Thank you.
you got some. So how long you been doing this for?
Um, that project was pretty new. Well, I mean, kind of new. We put that together in a couple years, but I've been rhyming for a while, man. Probably since elementary school.
Okay,
So it's
okay.
been a long time. I've been rhyming for a long time, but just kind of doing it here and there. You know what I mean? Never really taking it too serious. But until recently,
Yeah.
until recently.
Okay, okay. But when was your like who was that first artist where you were like, yo, this hip hop shit, like this shit's dope. Like who was that first artist that kind of like caught you?
I'd probably say, man, I used to be a big Redman fan back in the day. Redman was a big one.
For sure.
Um, Biggie. Probably Wu. I had a buddy of mine showed me the Wu. He gave me Wu and Onyx to listen to, and that shit just fucking changed my whole outlook on hip hop right there. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So yeah.
For me, I was a big fan of like Korn and like
Okay. Yeah.
Metallica and like Limp Bizkit and that kind of music. And then I bought the Family Values VHS.
Okay.
This is going back, I bought
Yeah.
the
The
VHS
VHS. Yeah.
and I had Cube on there.
Mm.
And I didn't know like the song Wicked, like Korn was like originally Ice Cube's song. And
Okay.
I was like, oh shit, like this guy is dope. So I checked out more of his shit, and then that's where it kind of led me into hip hop, like through Cube for me.
Okay. Okay. So more the West Coast then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were saying about a friend bringing you like stuff like yeah you gotta check this out because
Mm.
yeah I got into Cube and then I got into Dre and Snoop and I was really on like the West Coast stuff and then a buddy of mine was like he brought over like he knew much how much I liked it so he was like he burnt like a whole like Nas mix a Biggie mix um,
Okay.
a Gangstar mix and
Okay. Yeah. Gangstar. Yes.
yeah, and then he brought those over, and I was like, "Whoa, what the fuck is this shit? This is crazy." So
Yeah. Mind blasted. Yeah.
yeah. Um, were you ever like back in the day like would you like make mixtapes of like different stuff like after you forgot like figure that like
Yeah. Do you mean like mixtapes of other artists or
yeah
like
yeah
mixtapes like yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Um Huge Jay-Z fan back in the day. Huge Jay-Z fan.
okay
So like all that stuff, Nas, AZ, Cool G. I had another homie, close homie of mine was like I was the AZ head and he was the Nas head and we used to go back and forth like oh AZ's better, Nas is better, you know what I mean?
yeah
Type of thing. But yeah, all that man. I remember the mixtape, man. the cassette player.
Oh,
Wow, you're taking it back. You're taking it back.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I remember like before doing these interviews, I was doing music. I was doing shows and putting out music and stuff like that. And
yeah.
when I first started, like those mixtape times, like people would want me to burn like the famous shit that was out, you know, the Jay-Z's and Nas and all that shit.
Mhm.
So I put it all on a CD, but I put like three or four of my own songs mixed throughout the set. So when people
Yeah,
play them, and I could just be playing they play like a Rough Rider song, and then all of a sudden like my song would come on after, you know.
yeah. Just be like, yo, who's this guy? Yo, don't even worry about that. You know. Sick.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Just recently you got serious with it. What was the moment like? You're like, yeah, I want to really get serious with this shit.
Um, Met up with a couple of producers. One specifically, Shiloh, the legendary. Um, and I met up with him through a mutual friend of ours, Fruition, who's I think he produces for the Soul Pro, which is another Durham, Toronto,
Yeah.
real dope hip hop duo. With him behind the beats, and he kind of put me in his in orbit, like in his direction, you know.
Yeah.
And just being able to sit down with him and like get the knowledge and just just sitting down with like, and he's a real head too, so it's like we could talk about Cool G, Big Daddy Kane,
Yeah.
and he goes back even older, like knowledge even older than myself that I don't, that, you know what I mean, that he's putting me onto. But it was really getting that kind of download into a real practitioner
Yeah.
of the hip hop thing,
For sure.
and so we came together and he kind of put my mind in that space. I'd done it before. We had done some stuff before, with other groups, and there's another producer I work with too, very closely, Deal One. He's another guy who put me on that track. But I would say Shy specifically really inspired that.
Yeah,
And
you were saying I really like kind of like takes the craft seriously and like if anything you're trying to do, you guys study the ones before you. I don't know if we're having a Wi-Fi there. Wi-Fi problem right here. Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Um. Yeah. What was I saying there? That kind of threw me off. Um. Oh yeah, I was saying like the studying of it, like me like So when I heard of Cube, that was probably like I came into it like mid to late like 90s, but like I went back and I studied the Cool G Raps and the Rakims and the Gangstars and the you know like all that shit, right? But then like the same thing when I got into interviews, like I studied like the Sway in the Morning. I studied like the Angie Martinez, like the
Mhm.
you know like all
The old school joint, yeah.
right. How important do you think that that is for an artist to kind of like really like go back and study like everything before them?
I think it's very important, man. I think like history informs the future in one way or another. You know what I mean? So at least for the better or for the worse. So I think definitely need to see the people who did it before, um, because they're the ones who kind of paved the way. Um, Regardless if you like the music or not, there's, you know what I mean? Good is good. So yeah, and successful is successful. Those are things that you have to, especially if you want to be in the orbit of that, you have to study. So I think it's, Angie Martinez, I remember, Sway in the Morning,
Yeah.
and they still do it. So
Right.
that's the thing, right? It's
Yeah.
the tenacity, it's the will to keep doing it. So all those things are very important. I think, yeah, I think that you start at a good place. That's the place to start, right?
Right. Right. And definitely like you kind of find your own flavor in it. Like you kind of like you're like, oh, I like how they did like each one of them. Like you're like, I like how I did this, but I don't like how they did this. You know, so you can
Yeah,
kind of perfect your own kind of thing, right?
yeah, exactly. Try to find your own voice in between that. You know what I'm saying?
Because a lot of rappers will start out sounding like their flow will be like one particular person,
Yeah,
because that's the person that like. But like as you broaden your horizons, you mix all the shit, right, and you get your own shit, right?
yeah, for sure. Definitely, definitely.
Um, So let's say like you're out somewhere in a cute girl comes she comes up to you and like she heard something about you making music. How would you explain your music to this girl?
Well, it's a tough one, right? Um, I definitely would explain it's probably not your top 40 pop pop music. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I don't know. It's hard to explain because I can be very abstract for the most part with the way I put together rhymes. It's more like a feeling a lot of the time. So it depends on the beat. So I don't know how I might pick particular tracks. Maybe you know. Definitely tell I'm an MC, but
yeah, like I definitely heard that there, like where you say like so you let like the beat kind of like, tell you like the direction you want to go.
yeah, I look at it like together a visual scene, you know.
Yeah,
So and all the things that encompass that. I mean, the best I can with the rhyme. So sometimes less can be more, especially if the beat is doing a lot, right? The producer, the, the beat. But that's how I look at it. I look at I'm trying to paint a picture, cinematic picture, um, and start from there. So a lot of the time the beat is like I don't know, maybe the script or the something like that. You know, I'm heavy into movies, so I use those analogies a lot. But that's the way I look at it for the most
sure.
part.
You start off with your hook, or you start off with your verse.
The hook's probably the hardest thing for me, man. I usually start off with the verse. Usually start off with like a word or a sentence, and then it builds. It builds from there. You know.
Okay, me like when I was making music, I was kind of the opposite. I felt like
Mhm.
um, hooks were probably my easiest thing
Really
for me, and I always felt like I didn't know where to start with the verse if I didn't have the hook down.
weird.
So like
Wow.
different.
I have some. I don't say I have trouble, but it's something that I usually save to the end. You know, it's very rare that I have the hook ready uh, before the verses are done. You know.
Me, I've tried both ways. I've tried like start writing the verse, and I've done songs like that. But
Hmm.
my best method was doing the hook first.
Everybody works differently, right? Yeah. There's no one way to do something. You know what I'm saying?
For sure, for sure. So do you write more? Do you kind of like keep a lot of shit in your head, or do you kind of like how do you go about that?
Uh, yeah, I write. I still write with like still writing like a note, like in a book with a pen
That's the
and shit like that.
for writing, like like doing it in the phone, it doesn't have the
It's weird for me.
right.
Like I copy it so that it's easier for me to put it down in the booth. You know what I mean? But I write in a book. I still write in a book. People look at me weird and shit, but I still I still do that. I
No,
still
like,
do that.
there's definitely a lot of people that still do. Like I know um there's just something about like and like people with their pens.
Mm,
I used to have a collection of pens, and like
yeah.
because like I'll be like, man, I want the right fucking texture and shit like that.
Yeah.
Right?
It couldn't be this one. I never, you know what I mean? Sometimes I had a period where I was writing only in red. You know what I mean? You get like real weird with it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You real, yeah.
Me
But yeah, man.
and like I'd have like for my ad libs I'd have like a different color. Like I'd maybe have like the blue pen. I'd be writing with that, and then like I'd write my like little ad libs in like red.
Mm, it makes it easier too,
Yeah,
right? Especially when you have to lay it down. Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, for sure. So like what new projects you got coming up?
We got a few things. I don't know we got a few things coming, man. We got some excited stuff. One I don't think I can speak on too much right now. It's a little hush hush, but we got some coming from the guillotine camp. Some big, you know. Um, and then I got some I'm working on with a homie of mine, the one we did 2020 with, Deal One.
Yep.
We're putting together another project that should be coming out, and then I got another project coming out with Ninth as well. So pretty busy, pretty busy.
Well,
Yeah.
I actually have this guy the show next week. I seen him in your video. Um, Eddie Jones. How'd you meet?
Nice.
How'd you meet Eddie Jones?
Oh man, Eddie. Well, we have a mutual friend, real good, talented brother named Luke Robinson. He's actually a actor friend of ours. He's actually he's in the circuit right now. His movie won grand prize. But anyway, we knew mutual friend connection, and then
Yeah,
we realized we had a bunch of mutual friend connections. So it's kind of like it was cool. But Eddie's another stand up guy, man. Real good dude.
yeah, definitely. Like, I definitely met people in time where it's like we had a mutual friend, and we
Mhm.
meet and we start talking, and we're like, oh shit, you know this person too, you know this person too. It's like, yeah, we should have been met, you know?
Yeah, it's like this weird domino effect. You know what I mean? It's like, how do we not meet? You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So late night, what is the go-to food?
Late night go to food. Probably probably cereal. Yeah, probably probably Reese's peanut butter cup cereal, Lucky Charms. You know what I'm saying? Couple bowls of that,
Yeah,
good to go.
yeah, cereal. Uh, 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 have you got some of the cereals from the States?
Yeah, like well, back in the day, I know a lot of the cereals got cut, man. I used to be like a cereal, like you know what I'm saying, connoisseur when I
Yeah,
was a kid.
like prior to
You know?
probably just a little bit before like the whole COVID thing hit. Uh, somebody brought me over Fruity Pebbles. Brought me over
Oh man,
a box of Fruity Pebbles, and I was like, yes,
bro, Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Puffs, Mini Wheats. Do you remember Rice Krispie Square cereal? Remember that?
yeah, yeah,
Bro, that's probably my favorite cereal of all time. Rice Krispie Square cereal. That's the one.
yeah, yeah, for sure. For me, like the Fruity Pebbles is probably my favorite. Like, man,
Right,
like
right on.
because yeah, the person asked me, they're like, hey, I'm going to the States. Do you want me to like bring back anything? Like, they're going shopping and doing other things, and I was like,
Hmm.
yo, cereal. And they're like, what?
Yo, let me get that cereal, bro. Let me get a couple boxes of that Fruity Pebbles. They're like, what? You don't want any liquor or nah?
No, my God.
Let me get that cereal. Yeah, yeah. It's very specific. I feel you, man. I wish that we got some of those cereals out here. You know,
For sure,
but
for sure. Um, yeah. So, you have any questions for me?
yeah, man. How did you what made you start getting into this like interviewing artists? What was the genesis for that?
For me, like, well, I told you, like prior to this, I was doing shows and I was doing my own music, and
Hmm.
I started like I said, I was studying the craft. So I'd watch all these interviews with all these rappers I was a fan of, and then I started becoming fans of the interview people. And then
Hmm.
I was at a show one night, and I kind of like looked around and like the kind of like guys that I was performing with a lot of times, and like none of them had like done an interview.
Okay.
And I went somewhere and I had a bad experience on an interview, so the interview just didn't go good. So I was like, I'm like, yo, what if I got actually started something? I actually
Hmm.
started something and started interviewing. Then I actually interviewed like the guys I knew, the guys I was doing shows with, and by the time I got through that list, like it was a snowball effect of people messaging me saying, hey, I want to get on the show.
Hmm.
So it was like yo, I'm like like none of us had interviews. It was
Hmm.
and there needs to be somebody in the area to kind of like do this shit.
Right. Yeah. Like somebody to take. I remember that because you have a lot of that back in the day. Kind of like there were scenes and shit. So you'd have people that would be covering it, right? But it seems like everything is so under one umbrella. You need to. It's good that we have, someone like you that can actually focus in on, you know, particular artists that may not get that light shine on them. So yeah, it was
Yeah, for
shout out
sure,
to that.
for sure. Like it was definitely like a dope feeling, like doing people's like first interviews, and then
Hmm.
seeing them go along and like do a bunch of dope shit like afterwards. It's like, yo, like like that's dope. Like, like when like I do an interview with somebody, and like they message me the next day and be like, yo, I got so many friend requests, and I got people messaging me about my music, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like, yo, that's like a great feeling to be able to help people out like that,
Yeah, yeah. Word up.
for sure, for sure. So yeah, so for have you ever thought about just like me I actually tried singing. I tried singing like when I was by myself in front of the mic and tried a bunch of different things.
Yeah.
Do you ever try like just like weird different shit with music like and see if it works and then like probably
Uh,
most of it don't come out right because like when you're by yourself you're like fuck it let's try it like
and then you lay it down. I've laid down like maybe tried to sing vocals on the mic maybe like twice.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And it doesn't sound like the only that shit only sounds hot to me in like the shower. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if I'm ever gonna drop. On like a loose Instagram post, but I don't think that's in the cards, man.
I've actually like laid something and like thought it was dope and walked around the room and was like yeah and then played it back and it was like nope.
It's like nah, yeah. Or how many times you laid it down and you're just like I want to post this, but
Yeah.
I just I just can't. You know what I'm saying? But
Well,
yeah.
the thing is with music sometimes, like uh, it's good to get like other people's opinions on stuff before putting it out, because like cause some artists will like hold back some of their best shit, like
Hmm.
and now you know it's their best shit, like
Hmm.
like I tried Billy Rex on the show last week. He has
Hmm.
a song called Chicken Strips, and I was
Hmm. Yo,
telling him,
word. Yeah, I know chicken strips. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I was
Billy
telling him
Ray.
like.
Shout out to him, man. The whole lunchroom, man.
Yeah, I was telling him like,
They're
yo,
ill.
this song's dope. Like I'm like this song's fucking fire. And he's like, oh, I thought it was alright. I'm like, no, this song is like dope. So like sometimes like artists don't really kind of always know like their best shit.
Hmm.
Even with the interviews, like people will tell me like a certain interview, they'll be like, oh, that interview right there, like that was one of your best interviews. And I'll think of
Hmm.
like I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, to me, like, it might not be,
Hmm.
like, and there'll be like another interview where I'm like, where I felt like I'm like, yo, this is probably like some of my best shit, and it gets,
Yeah.
and like it doesn't get the attention, right? So,
Right. Right.
so you never really know. It's good to have other people around. You have like a process of people you play your stuff for before.
Yeah. Yeah. I do. There's a few people that I trust for sure. For sure. To listen to my stuff or get a different kind of perspective on. But even then, like you never know what the audience is going to respond to. There's definitely been throwaway stuff, or not throwaway stuff, but stuff that I'm like, yeah, it's like a test. You're trying it out versus stuff that like, yo, I worked on this. This is how it's laid out perfectly, the verse, and people hear it and they're like, yeah, that's all right, but that shit over there, that shit's fire, and you're like, I wrote that in like 20 minutes, like you know what I mean? But then it also works with writing sometimes too. You can go through periods of like writer's block, and then like NBA Jam, you're just on fire. You know what I mean? You can
Right.
continue and continue and continue to go. So it depends. But
Def-
yeah, definitely,
yeah. Yeah. NBA Jam, fucking amazing.
bro.
Yeah.
Tournament edition with the silver basketball yo,
It,
bro, yeah, man, that's the shit.
yeah. Do you have like a favorite like a video game from back in the day?
Do I or do I
Yeah.
still or do a
Yeah.
favorite video game from back in the day?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's a loaded question, man. Uh, Final Fantasy VII was a heavy one, but Final Fantasy VI. I like RPGs a lot. You know what I
Yeah. Yeah.
mean? I did play a lot of fighting games. I played Capcom, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. You know, Resident Evil 4. I got some games, man. I
Okay.
don't think there's just one. You know.
Yeah. Probably, I actually only played two Final Fantasies. I played the original on Nintendo, and then
Okay.
and I played seven. I think seven was the probably one of the most popular ones.
Yeah, for sure. I
But
think most people played seven. Yeah.
GoldenEye back in the day.
Oh shit, Golden. I forgot about that, man. What? The Golden Eye with the odd job and shit.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, bro.
yeah,
My guy used to be like Serbian Soldier 2 or something. I used to rock with that guy.
yeah.
Some random civilian number 5 or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was big on the Tony Hawk games.
Tony Hawk, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so is there any last thing you'd like to say before we wrap this up? Anything,
Yeah,
maybe?
I just want to shout you out too, man. Just respect for having me on the show and doing this. I think this is big. I think this is important, you know, as much as exposure as artists who don't get that opportunity to get it,
Yeah,
um, is good. So yeah. And to check for my two albums on Spotify right now. Shameless plug.
for sure. No,
Strange
plug it, plug it.
Str- Strange Days, me and Shy.
Yeah,
And
is this on Spotify or all platforms?
all platforms.
Okay.
And 2020 with me and Deal One. So
Yeah,
go check those out. Yeah.
definitely. And everybody that's tuned in, uh, make sure you check out both of us. Follow us, and yeah, it was great having you on
Hey,
the
man.
show. And
Thank you for having me, man.
yeah, man. Cheer, cheer. All right, peace.
Take care.